Hiya, welcome back to my channel. It's Wendy here from Toonpish Crafts and I hope you're doing okay.
I'm just jumping in here in my own video to say a big thank you for 3,000 subscribers. I've just reached it. I can't believe I've got here. Thank you so much for watching my videos, for sharing, for liking, for commenting. And in the next few weeks, I will be doing a giveaway as a thank you. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you very much.
Today is a request from a subscriber who saw my original intro, and in it there is a pegasus in a crystal. And she wanted to know how I did it. Now, it was a long time ago. I don't have any more little Pegasus pieces, but I do have a spaceman. So I thought, well, I could do a spaceman in a crystal. Now, I'm not one for going back and doing exactly the same as I've done before. I don't usually do that. So what I thought I'd do is try a different way to do it. The original was 2 pours, but I got to the jelly stage and I put the second pour in. This one, I'm going to try fishing wire, a fishing line. Let's see how that goes.
So this is the fishing line that I'm using. I bought it from Amazon and I bought it just simply because it's clear. That's the only reason. This is the little 3D printed Astronaut, which I got from AliExpress. I'll put the link in the description below. I'm just going to thread the fishing line through some very convenient holes that he has in his suit, between his suit and his body, so that's handy for me at this point. So this is a complete experiment for me. I've not done this before, and I'm hoping that I can suspend him over the top of the mould with my helping hand tool that is attached to the side of the bench. That's the plan. We can only hope. So this is the mould that I will be using. Having a little bit of an issue there with the line coming out of the bottom of his suit. It doesn't weigh very much. This little tiny man does not weigh much at all. So now I've got him attached to the grippy arm, the helping hand, and he is centered in the middle of my mould. And that is perfect, I think. So the resin I'm using is Resin Colour Deep Cast Casting Resin. Trying to show you the bottle here, not very easily. But it is a 72-hour cure resin, and I'm hoping, as this isn't going into the pressure pot, that it will create less bubbles, or no bubbles, that's the hope anyway. So I'm pouring it very slowly into the mould, just clear resin, no colouring or anything in there. You're actually going to hear my voice on the day now. I have a respirator on, so it's a bit muffled, but yeah.
Is it upside down? I'm going to take it out. Would it be upside down?
And this is why I suddenly realise that actually when I turn it out, he's going to be upside down. So I have to quickly move him. I left this bit in the video because it's quite important for you to see that sometimes people make mistakes and you can correct them or you can leave them. And I decided to correct this. I still have plenty of time though, as it's a 72-hour cure resin. So now I'm putting it back into the resin.
Ooh.
And I'm having a little issue with my helping hand.
Oh.
Wasn't best pleased with that. Right, so I've got the helping hand more or less back in the position. Now I'm trying to get him back into the centre and just topping up the mould. I did create a few bubbles by doing that, unfortunately. And once I'm done topping up the mould, I squirt it with isopropyl alcohol. So this is 72 hours later, so 3 days later. And I'm trying to show you here that the resin has shrunk back a fair bit, but that gives me an opportunity to put something else on top. So I'm going to cut the remainder of the fishing line and just sand it a little so that any resin I put on the bottom will have a grip. It's always best just to sand a little. So if you haven't subscribed already, please consider doing so. It does help my channel out, and if you ring the notification bell, then you'll be notified whenever I upload my videos. I'm just wiping it off with a baby wipe and then letting it dry completely. So now I'm going to use some UV resin, again controversially, but I have sanded this time. I'm going to put some glitter into the UV resin, and I'm going to do it in layers. This is my go-to UV resin that I use 90% of the time, and I will link it in the description below. So I'm just going to push the UV resin around all the bottom so that it covers it up completely. So I'm going to start by adding some, I think they're Milo flakes. I got these from Resin Supplies Den, and I've got a bag of all different types. And I'm just going to keep on adding into each layer until I'm happy with the depth of the colour for the crystal when it is turned out. So my idea was to have the colour kind of shimmering through the crystal from the base. As the crystal has different edges, it should shine through. And the long neck lighter, just to get rid of any surface bubbles before I put it under the UV lamp to cure. So onto the next layer, and I decided to go darker with the colour. These are larger flakes, and I'm just going to fill up the bottom area with larger, deeper colour. That's the plan. I think I would have preferred a deep blue here, but I didn't have any. You buy so many and there's never the one you want. What is that all about? So I used the purple and pink instead. Note to self, get dark blue Milo flakes. I don't know. And then under the lamp again. So when I'm happy with the colour, then I'm going to use Vista 1 resin, blue sapphire alcohol ink from Let's Resin, and I'm going to create a blue bottom just to fill up the last piece and to complete it. And then a squirt of isopropyl alcohol to get rid of the bubbles. So 24 hours later, it's time to demold, and I'm looking forward to seeing what this one's come out like, to be honest. I use isopropyl alcohol to loosen around the edges. It comes away from the mould a lot easier and just pops out. And there he is. Can you see the lines?
Well, I hope that helped you in some way. It's definitely a different way to do this kind of thing. The fishing line worked wonders. You can see the lines, but only very slightly. There's bubbles in there, and you saw from the video that's my own fault because I put him in upside down and I had to take him out. I did not put this in the pressure pot, but the bubbles kind of work, you know, he's in space. And the colour on the bottom just gives it a little colour around the crystal so that you've got a different aspect when you look at him from different angles. It's like the old puppet programs you used to watch on television. I can see the lines, mummy, when I was a kid. I'm going back a few years, mind you. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this one. Come back and see me next week because you never know what I'm going to be up to. Have a great week and bye for now.